It's that time. So I said, if you looked at my last video, that I was going to be working on the worst room in my house at some point soon, and here we go. We are back in the bathroom. This is a space that I strongly disliked as soon as I moved in. The shower kit here, this whole setup, was incredibly old and partially customized built, except not in like a good way. So I replaced that. That helped a lot. That also took a long time because I was having some issues with washers. And so thank goodness that there was a secondary shower head here because the main one was not working. The other thing that I have worked on is this bathroom cabinet. As you can see here, it is painted a lovely gray. It was not originally this color. Before, it was kind of an awful wood. Let me see, I think I painted the inside of the doors, yeah. Wow, I really hid every bit of evidence that previously showed how bad this was. It was just a cheap wood cabinet. Like, this isn't fancy. So I sanded it and then I painted it this color and then I added knobs. Sneak peek to this video. It's still not done because it's a whole thing, but there's a bunch of stuff that I've done, including like changing the faucet out. Now the toilet is relatively new, so that's in good condition. Thank goodness for that. The floor, I hate with a fiery burning passion. Really excited to swap that out. Not only is it old, but it's just ugly. I hate these tiles so much. It just looks dingy too, like it's just gotta go. However, I can't afford to replace that yet, so I will be probably putting down peel and stick tile just to give me a little extra time and make this much better. Another thing, if you've seen any of my other videos, I did another one kind of talking about this room being the worst room in my house. And part of it is, first off, this is dusty, I know, but it collects dust easily, but then also they painted the wall color, which is kind of a cream color, on the top of the trim. So I realized, because I couldn't figure out why this always looked dirty, and I realized it's just because of that. So that's annoying. Also, the trim, yeah, collects dust. It's dusty here in the Rockies, but it's got like, I don't know. It's just, I could just go on and on about the struggles in this room. There are some stains on some of the walls that just won't come off. I don't know if it's like hair dye or something from previous residents. But what I have decided is that the top part of the walls, not great, but not too bad. And it's the same paint that I actually ended up doing in my kitchen, slash if you saw any of my kitchen renovation videos, it's the same paint that was already there. And then I coincidentally picked the same color. So it was very easy, but same color in here. I'm gonna leave the top part of this room the same color, but I'm gonna paint the bottom part of this room. So you can see this trim that runs down the middle of the whole bathroom wall. And there's like, random stuff that needs to come off at some point. But I was like, you know what, just to make life easier for now, I'm just gonna paint it. And to make it easier, I'm gonna paint it kind of a darker color. It's gonna look complementary to the cabinet, because then if stuff does get a little bit dusty, you won't be able to tell. And if there are any stains that are seeping through the layers of the light colored paint, again, you won't be able to tell. But first things first that I have to do in here to prep it to be painted is I gotta scrub these walls. Oh boy, it's my favorite thing. Now, because these walls are a little rougher and the trim has landlord special all over it, it's a challenge. I actually got some generic magic eraser. If you don't know, you can get generic magic eraser for a lot cheaper than the magic eraser brand. So let's do this. Oh my god, they tape it down too. Why? It doesn't need to be taped. It's just foam. Now, the beauty of Magic Eraser is that it is slightly abrasive, just very, very lightly. So that's why it works. That's why it scrubs things off, is because it's like you're kind of lightly sanding things. In this case, I'm going to just get all of this gunk that might be on these walls off. And then if it roughs up the paint just a little bit, I'm not that worried because I'm going to paint over it. See here, you can see some random stain. I have scrubbed this multiple times and it just does not want to come off. So that's why I think just painting over is the best way to go. This is going to be a while, so I'm just going to keep cleaning and then I might bring you back in for the more exciting part. But just know that I'm having the time of my life. I just want to show you the difference. So this I have not done yet, aside from just kind of lightly dusting it off. It's so grabby. Like, unfortunately with the paint, it just collects dirt really easily. This is what I did yesterday. And you can see like there's still some dirt. I'm just probably not gonna be able to get that out, but such a huge difference. I'm getting so tired of scrubbing. My arms are tired, but it's worth it. Well, that went well. So I had some stick-on shelving back here in this corner, which had to come off obviously to be able to paint the trim and the wall down here, but it tore off the paint. This is why, if you were wondering, you need to clean your walls before you paint. Don't just slap paint up on there, because if there is grossness back here, then that paint is going to adhere to any of the dirt or grime or grease or whatever might be in there, and it's not going to stick very well. Eventually it's going to fail. And let me just show you how easily this comes off, right? So just basic scraper. That's what I mean when I say like there's dirt and so it's just gonna fail. And I had this same issue in my bedroom when I was painting that. Also, if you have an old house like this, if you're gonna do any type of work like that, make sure that you wear gloves. I just did a couple of pieces to show you and then I washed my hands immediately, but something in here is probably lead paint. So the issue I had also with my bedroom is that my bedroom has old wallpaper and that also failed. Now that will just happen regardless of being like grimy or not. Not much I could do about that, unfortunately. And this is definitely way less of a pain in the butt than the wallpaper, because the wallpaper I had to do all of that scraping of the paint and then I had to go back and scrub the old adhesive off of the wall before I could like fully sand and patch and paint and everything. It was such a tedious thing. There's videos on that if you want to see my pain and suffering. But yeah, so this is very annoying. So the goal is to just kind of pull off what's immediately loose. There's some cracks in the plaster that seem like have kind of given a better spot for the paint to adhere to, so it's gonna hopefully just kind of stop. Please just let it stop. Because I don't have time to do this whole bathroom if I have to do this. And then my mom is going to be very generous, and for a birthday present, she's going to buy Kilz Primer and paint over this. Because we did talk about cleaning it, and my concern is if there were smokers or anything like that in the house, that I don't want to release all of the toxins from that. That's another thing you have to be very aware of. If you're trying to clean walls from a house that had smokers in it, it's going to release a lot of those fumes, and if you don't have proper ventilation and masks and things like that, it can make you very, very sick, which I don't really want to do. So I think we're just going to slap some Kilz Primer on it, which is, you know, kind of good to do in a bathroom anyway, because there's a lot of moisture in here. And even though we are in a very dry climate here, I don't generally have issues with like mildew in the bathroom. That's not really a struggle. Towels dry like that. Still, you know, why not? But I'm not going to do this right now. So here's what we're gonna do instead. We're gonna go ahead and go turn some stuff into the compost pile. It's a bit chilly out there. It's been kind of rainy and coolish for the last few days, which I think seedlings are loving. Ooh, speaking of seedlings, I'm gonna show you what all of the seedlings are doing at this point because it's very exciting. I also just finished up, I think, the last of the seeds that need to be started inside. I think everything else, no, that's not true. Most everything. The only stuff that I'm gonna have left is not for another like 2 or 3 weeks, and that is cucumbers, melons, and squashes. Everything else will be started outside, or I've already started it. There's even some stuff that I have tried to start outside already, so we'll see how that does. But yeah, it's exciting, so let's go see those. And if you don't get that excited about plants and seedlings and gardening, you know what? Just join me anyway. Look at those. So these tomatoes I did not start. These are from a plant nursery. They were in a 4-pack, and it actually just came with like one little guy mixed in. However, when I got them, they were probably about that tall. So most of them have like doubled in size, which is really exciting. I don't know this little guy. I don't know what's going on. You know, he'll either be kind of a late bloomer or just won't make it. We'll see, because he hasn't really grown a whole lot. But I've been fertilizing, so yeah, they're doing really well. So that's very exciting. My peppers have got a lot more leaves. If you've seen my other videos, you may know that these were the ones that I stored, I overwintered. So I chopped them down and took off all the leaves, and I put them down in the basement, and there were a bunch of peppers and tomatoes that I did this with, and these were the only 2 that survived. I was hoping that maybe 3 had survived, but that 3rd one did definitely pass away. So I just have the 2, but they're looking good, so that's exciting. I am pretty sure that they're bell peppers. I just don't know if they're yellow or purple or one of each, so we'll have to see. I didn't do a very good job last year of like marking my plants, so I don't really know. I'm doing better this year, but yeah, I don't really know what those were, which is fine. I'm starting new ones too anyway, so I should just hopefully have a lot of peppers. Back here are some tomatoes. Those are my favorite. They're yellow copia tomatoes. They're like yellow and orange. Super tasty, so I will have to separate those out before too much longer, but they're looking good. My sweet peppers have just started, so those right here are like snackable, lunchy type peppers. And then the yellow bell peppers have also started to sprout. The purple ones have not yet, so I don't know if they're just going to take longer or what's going on. And then I just planted hot peppers, so those haven't, done anything yet. Down here, I also just put a bunch of like flowers into the pots. I think tomatoes and stuff, more peppers. This is Anaheim, this is Poblano. We've got strawberry field tomatoes there. I should have turned these tags around. I'll have to do that a little bit here. Mad Hatter pepper, which I think is a kind of a mild, spicy pepper. I don't have anything like super hot. I'm just not really a overly spicy person, Blush tomatoes, those were great last year. I also have a big pack of cherry tomatoes. I think that was at the top. My leeks are looking really good. These are going to be ready to go out before too much longer, actually. And then what I'll do also is trim off the tops here to really continue to help these to focus on root growth. My red trumpet cabbage is looking really, really good. These also will need to be separated out. They've got their secondary leaves, which are looking good. I am really happy, honestly, with a lot of the seeds that I've gotten from Johnny's Seeds. I know I've talked about them before, but the germination rate on them is pretty high usually. And they seem to do pretty well. So we'll see. I'll continue to pay attention to those. My cabbages they've got their secondary leaves. I've got a Savoy cabbage back here, and this is a Copenhagen cabbage. My one Brussels sprout. I planted some more outside. I don't know. Those seeds were kind of old, so we'll see what happens. And then down here, so this is all kohlrabi. I wanted a bunch of it because it's kind of a one-for-one type of plant when it comes to harvesting, and I I think like 2 kohlrabi last year that I didn't even remember putting seeds out, and it was so good. So good. I've had kohlrabi from the store, and this was like drastically different and a lot sweeter and everything like that. So really excited about those. Lettuces need to go out. This is romaine and this is igloo lettuce. And then I have like a roughly bib, I think it's a bib, no, it's spotted, I don't know, it's something up front that just has reseeded itself. So that's kind of exciting. What is this? Oh, this is kale. This is red Russian kale. And then I have 2 packs of parsley because I love parsley. And then I've just started other herbs. It's still kind of early for some of those, but if you look down here, this is multicolored cauliflower. So I don't know, it's either purple, green, or white. They're doing really well. I was actually very surprised. There's so many in here because those seeds were also older, so I didn't expect them to germinate so well. So we'll just have to see what happens if I can separate those out and they do okay. I don't know. We'll see. There is a little bit of oregano barely coming up. You can't even really see it at this point. It's so small. This is supposed to be... This is garlic chives, and those have not started yet. This is thyme, which is going crazy, and that's exciting. I've got summer savory right there, and that's doing pretty well. And then a little bit of that guy, which I don't remember what he is. I don't think it's an herb though. I think that was something else. Anyway, and then I got a little more parsley going here, and then these are all flowers that I don't remember what they are at the moment. Can't remember if they're like petunias maybe. Anyway, but they're going kind of slow. We'll see. I've never had a whole lot of success with starting flowers, so I'm just I'm trying, I'm fertilizing, trying to keep everything like the dirt wet and stuff, and it seems to be going a lot better this year, so we'll see. I just put in some of what the flowers are here that I just started are snapdragons. I have 3 different colors. They're, again, from Johnny's Seeds, so hopefully they do well. They're the like taller snapdragons, which I've never grown, and honestly I don't know if I've ever seen them in person. I'm so excited. I am so excited for those. So hopefully those do well. They are supposed to have pretty good germination rates. I think all 3 had over 90% germination rate. Like 2 of them were like 98, 99, and then 1 of them was a little lower. It was more around like 92, 93, I believe. But we'll see. So yeah, I'm excited about those as well. If you've heard me mention before, I still use this app called Seed Time. It's a relatively new app, but it basically helps you do all of the planning and scheduling for this because it already has seeds in there and it has stuff in based on your time zone. So when you tell them where you live, it will automatically schedule things out in a Gantt chart, which if you don't know is like it's a chart used for project management that is based on like dates and scheduling things out. And so there are initial events, which is usually like bed preparation or seeding or something like that. And then there are triggers beyond that. So then we know, like, for example, planting these seeds, I have to do that at some point this week. And then once I've done that task, then like 7 days or 14 days after that task is completed, then it's time to do the next step. So it's automatic like that. So it's really nice because it takes away a lot of the work of the trying to mark down dates and keep it on the calendar of when I'm supposed to do things. And it just sends me notifications. Yeah, this week was a little intense because there were a lot of seeds that had to be started. It was all the tomatoes, the rest of the peppers. Sweet peppers, interestingly, it had me start like a week or 2 ago, and then all the hot peppers were this week. So all of those, eggplants, which the app is interesting. It suggests starting the eggplants inside, but then the back of the envelope of the seeds suggests starting them outside. So I'm trying a little bit of both. They're also old seeds, so not a lot of faith in how well they'll grow. And at this point, I'm just kind of, with all of my old seeds, I'm just planting them and hoping for the best and kind of clearing out my stock. Because I have still 2 bins full of seeds and I need to start to get rid of some of those older seeds.
Some of them are from like 2011. So those are the ones that I don't think are going to do great. I'm just so excited. One of my favorite things about gardening, which is hilarious because as a kid I was like, I'm never going to get into gardening. I literally told my mom that at least once. But one of my favorite things is that it's kind of a mix of having to have patience and wait for, these things to grow and everything like that. But at the same time, there's little bits of kind of quick dopamine hits along the way. Like I get dopamine hits and I get excited when the seeds first start germinating and sprouting up. And then I get excited when the seedlings start to get a little bigger. And then when they get their secondary leaves, like the first round of that's really exciting. And so there's all these stages that you get those quick dopamine hits during, but at the same time, it's a long game, right? Like I'm not going to see fruit or veggies or anything that I can harvest for several months now still. Like we're not there yet. But yeah, so it's kind of fun. Okay, I'm procrastinating doing productive things, so let's go do the productive things. Everybody, I also want to be very clear when I'm doing everything that I am not a high energy person. So even though I am accomplishing quite a bit, I take a lot of breaks. And sometimes that looks like just a 5-minute break of sitting and staring and thinking about that I need to get up and do the next thing. But this is not one of those channels where it's a person who is super high energy and has all the momentum all the time. This is a real channel. Real person here. I think what I'm going to do next is just focus on cleanup. So a lot of this is leftover from the kitchen projects that I've been working on. There's a couple of little things I still need to fix, like the toe kick needs to have a little can't think of the word, caulk in the crack there. The floor needs a little work, which is part of what the tile is for, to increase the height there. So there's various things. This is what this is all still sitting here for. However, I'm probably not going to get to any of these projects in the next couple of weeks before my party. So we're going to put that stuff away. Yeah, you hungry? Hey everybody, it's my birthday. So today I'm not doing anything. Work on the house, not of it. Like we're not, no. Fortunately, so my mom and I are gonna go get coffee and some breakfast. She has been very kind in helping me with the bathroom saga, and there is more saga, which I will go into on a day where I'm gonna actually work on it and think about it. But today, I'm trying a new coffee shop. It's called Panda Coffee House. So I'm excited to try that. And then gonna go get some brunch. And then later on, my dad is going to join us. We're gonna have dinner and play some D&D. So let's go. Okay, we're back in the car. I like it. It's a little bit stronger. They put 3 shots in a 12 ounce, but I think it's pretty good. What do you think?
I'm gonna try not to do a novel this time. If you know, you know. Yeah, I'm still getting used to the fact that it's stronger, but
Yeah.
the coffee itself is good quality. There's no sourness, there's no bitterness.
Mhm.
It's
a little bit of a punch in the face because it's stronger, but I'm not mad about
yeah.
I'm not mad about that this morning. I need to.
Right. Yeah, well, we forgot our mushrooms to put in there, so
Yeah,
neither one of us brought it. So
my mushroom mix.
ADHD.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this should take care of that.
Mm-hmm. It's good though. All right, let's go eat.
Also, happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right, here we go.
Okay. I'm gonna let you eat in this little complex.